little bit busy. Yeah, with small, as referred to by Dillian Whyte's lawyer, a small shindig.
A small shindig. Is most of the work done now with 3 days to go?
Well, our work is more or less done, but the hard work starts at 10 o'clock on Saturday night when the two guys finally hear that bell and come out and get down to business.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw you the other day, so we've known each other about 100 years, haven't we? But you've been part of the boxing scene, the global boxing scene, the British boxing scene for 40 years or so. Right now, is boxing as good as it's been, especially the heavyweight scene?
Well, the heavyweight scene is amazing, certainly in the UK. I grew up in the days where British heavyweights, they'd get a shot at the world title, but they'd always get beaten. Now it's shifted completely. It was always the Americans who were the dominant force in boxing. Then it was Ukraine with the two Klitschko brothers, but we've taken over. We've had a real good run, and Tyson, I think, is the best, by far the best heavyweight in the world. He's the lineal champion of the #1. And we've got some great youngsters coming through as well here. So we're in really good shape as far as heavyweight boxing is concerned, and as far as boxing is concerned.
Well, Mauricio talked about upsets, and there's plenty of upsets in the WBC Greatest Fights Open, so I guess everybody in the room will say that Tyson is the favourite, but still going to do it.
Look, nothing's certain in boxing. Anything can happen. We see, was it a month ago or so, Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. Nobody gave Catterall a nerve. And it was for me, it was a pretty poor decision. He won the fight, but having said that, he went in there with not one person picking him, probably other than Jack and his parents and his trainer. Nobody fancied it. Anything can happen in boxing. You're one punch away, you're a whisper away from getting up to over.
But Tyson's going to win.
Well, I hope he does. I mean, Tyson, I'm no bones about it. I mean, Tyson's corner. I think he's the outstanding heavyweight of his generation. He's done everything that's been asked of him, and it's quite, when you think about it, it's a unique occasion on Saturday. I think it's just over 3 years since he's been in this country, and it's the first time he's defended his title. He's world champion, he's defended his title in the UK, first time ever. So, it says he's been saying this will be his last fight. I don't know whether it will be or not, but the fact of the matter is it's a momentous occasion. We sold 85,000 tickets in 2.5 hours. There was 171,000 people in the queue, ticket must be queued by trying to get tickets. And then I think it was 258,000 inquiries. We managed to get some more tickets released thanks to local authorities, and now we're at 94,000, which is the biggest boxing event to take place in Europe, and the highest grossed event to ever take place in Wembley. So it's another tick for Tyson. He keeps doing it, he keeps breaking his records. And obviously the fans love him, they come out for him. Okay,
so we're here talking about the Greatest Fights Opens. You've seen a few in your time, Frank. So really a couple of questions. What in your opinion, is the greatest fight in your lifetime? And secondly, it may be a different answer, the greatest fight that you've been involved in.
It's quite difficult because there's been some really great fights. And you think of, I've seen some great fights on old film footage. I can only talk about the fights I've seen live. Fights I see or see on TV. Fights that I've seen live. One of the great fights was the Barrera and Morales' first fight. It was a fantastic fight. I absolutely agree with Mauricio, and I know I'm involved with Tyson, but that fight was fantastic in Wilder. That's the most exciting heavyweight fight I've ever attended live. It was just dramatic all the way through. And it took two people to make that fight. It wasn't just Tyson, it was Deontay Wilder as well. And then we showed a lot of courage, a lot of grit, nerve, and it was a magnificent performance by both the boxers. In this country, Joe Calzaghe and Kessler was a brilliant fight. 54,000 people, both of them at the top of their game, and Joe was magnificent. The first 3 rounds, Kessler took, and then Joe came back into it. And with Joe, he always had a plan B. Big heart, great chin, and he came through it. That was a fantastic fight. I think of 2 of the trilogy between, obviously, Ali and Frazier, 1 and 2 were again were unbelievable fights.
1 and 3.
1 and 3 were brilliant fights. And the depths they had to go to, 15 rounders back then. You know, they really had to get in the trenches, and it was a miracle when you look at it, how, you know, and looking at how important a really good cornerman and trainer is in how he was pulled out of the fight. Frazier didn't want to be pulled out, and he was thinking that Angelo was about to pull out.
Which he was, wasn't he?
Yeah. So, you know, that's that. And there's moments in time that they were just fabulous fights. There's many more. There's a very sad one that happened over here, which was a great fight to watch for the fans whilst it was on, and that was Nigel Benn and Gerald McClellan. It was a magnificent fight, and it was the most tragic fight. It tells you the dangers of the sport and what we learned from as a sport from that terrible night. You know, just marvelous. You know, boxers are superhuman beings.
Can we throw in Hagler Hearns?
Absolutely. I was that fight. I mean, 3 rounds of absolute mayhem. You know, they could have that fight in the telephone box. They didn't need a ring. They just did not move away from each other. It was an amazing fight.
It was like a barroom brawl, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, it was a bit more skillful than that, but they actually got down to it, didn't they? They're both very skillful boxers. But it was like, you know, it was like a macho evening. They just stood toe to toe and let them go, and you know, and it was just unbelievable to watch. It took the first round just took my breath away. You know, I've been to hundreds of title fights and seen all around the world, but watching that, it's like your jaw drops. What's going to happen next? And then the next round is as good. It's an unbelievable fight.
Okay, I'm going to pin you down to one fight. The greatest fight, in your opinion, is.
I've got to say, I'm selfish in what I'm saying. It's going to be a fight that I was involved in, and for me, it was the heavyweight fight between Tyson and Whyte, that third fight.
3, yeah.
Yeah, because I was involved, so I had a lot from myself, had a lot, you know, a connection with it. And I could, you know, I'm sure lots of people say, no, they've seen better fights than that. But for me, what it meant to Tyson, and what it, you know, and what was going on in the ring, the drama and everything, that was a great fight.
Yeah, I bet you heart skipped a beat when Tyson was down a couple of times, but you've seen him get up before, haven't you?
Well, that's the amazing thing about it. He's got such powers of recovery. Forget about it. The first fight, I don't know how he got up in the 12th round. I mean, I genuinely thought it was all over. And Harry got up, and not only did he get up, he came back and was winning the round at the end.
Okay, final thing, prediction for Saturday, if you would please.
It's a tough fight. Nothing's a foregone conclusion in boxing, as we all know. But I have to go with Tyson because I think he's got the superior skills. I think he's the bigger man. He's got all the advantages. I think it will be a tough fight, and I think they'll get into the trenches at some stage in the fight. But I believe he'll prevail.
Okay. Round? Not good.
Wait, 6 or 7.
6 or 7. Okay, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, listen, I know you're looking over the weather, so thanks so much for joining us today. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
And
I just want to say, you know, how with the Ukrainian ambassador here today, you know, how we in boxing support what's going on in the Ukraine. You know, boxing is about most guys get into boxing to get away from bullying or being bullied, and that's what's happening in Ukraine. You're being bullied at the moment by a bigger power. We're using all their might, and what you're doing, your people are doing is just amazing, and we all respect it.